jainworld.com 25 years of service to Jainism.
Jai Jinendra, welcome to this lecture on forgiveness, part of the Dasalakshan Parva 2020. मोक्षमार्गस्य नेतारं भेतारं कर्मभूभृतां ज्ञातारं विश्वतत्त्वानां वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये. A man retired from military. He was a commando in military and did several brave things in his life. And now that he is retired, he went to his hometown to settle down. He was living by the bank of a seashore, very close to the beach, and he had a very nice boat. He was enjoying his retirement life and used to have a very regular schedule, but he will get up early morning. He didn't lose his military habit of getting early morning. And by 6 o'clock, he will get ready. He will walk to the beach, which was very close to his house, and his boat used to be anchored on the beach. So he will sit in the boat, and about 15 minutes ride in the boat, and the other shore will come, and there his friend had a coffee shop. So 6 o'clock he is in the boat. By 6:15 he is on the other shore, and by 6:30 or so he is there in the coffee shop enjoying with his friend a warm cup of morning coffee. And they will chit-chat for 10-15 minutes, and as his customer starts coming in, this fellow will come back to his boat and then return back to his home. This is his daily schedule and no break in that. And one day, as usual, he got ready at 6 o'clock and walked to the beach. And it was a winter season and there was a thick fog. Now he was in two minds. One mind said, it is thick fog, why go? Unnecessary, you will hit some boat and get into accident. But the other mind said, oh, this is our daily route and it is just 15 minutes and I know my way and I will not get lost. So let us go ahead. And so he got into the boat and he is going to the other shore. And visibility is 10-15 feet or so. And as he was going, he saw another boat coming in his direction. And so he started shouting, hey, you, get out of this, my path. And the other fellow is not turning. He is still coming straight on his boat. And so he's shouting more loudly, hey, you, I told you to get out. And still the boat is coming. And now he got very, very angry and is shouting at the top of his voice, hey, you get out. You don't know, I am a military commando. I can smash you down. But unfortunately, the boat collided. And he was really angry. He took out his pistol and jumped into the other boat and started shouting, "Where are you? Where are you? Come on, come on." But he's searching everywhere. It is a small boat and there is nobody. And there was a small room below. So he went down the staircase and he thought the person is hiding now in the room because he's afraid of me. And so he goes down and opens the door of the room and there is nobody. He comes up, searches everywhere, there is nobody. Suddenly he found that the boat is having the rope which is used for anchoring. Then he realized that the boat got loose from the anchor and because of the wind it is just sailing by itself. So now his anger got subsidized and he started laughing. He had a good laugh. He says, "My goodness, I thought there is somebody and I need to punish him. And I would have really thrashed him today so that he had a lesson of his lifetime. But this boat is empty. There is nobody." And I unnecessarily got angry. Friends, the anger is lying within us. And it is just waiting for the trigger to get its expression. And we always think that the other person is responsible for my anger. My brother, my sister, my mother, my boss, my friend, my neighbors. This friend, that friend, anybody you meet in the lift, anybody you meet in the shopping mall. And you always think the other is responsible for my anger. But the anger is within you. And this is what Bhagwan Mahavir says, that all your enemies are inside you. And those enemies are anger, ego, deceit, greed. What we call as a krodh, man, maya, lobh. Four kashaya, four passions. All they are within you. And anybody outside is just a trigger. He is just a trigger to let that anger come in or let that anger go out of you. So your Unter-Atma, as Mahavira calls it, your inner space has all those enemies there. And in your outer Bahir-Atma, it is only the manifestation of those negativity. So, if you want to control, you need to go to your Unter-Atma, to your inner space, because that is where the purification process has to be done. Because all anger and ego and greed and all they are lying there. So, important to understand that anger is existing inside us and it is only getting manifested. And some trigger is happening somewhere and we consider that person, that event responsible for our anger. So purity, control on the anger can only be done in your Unter-Atma, in your inner space where you are, having those negativity. One important aspect of controlling anger is resilience. You need to build the resilience. If you build the resilience, then a lot of situations where anger could otherwise arise can be easily controlled. There was a saint called Ekanath several centuries back in Maharashtra, and he had a habit of going to the river nearby. The town where he was staying was on the bank of a river. So he will walk to the river, take a bath, and early morning, 6 o'clock, he will walk to the river, take a bath, and then go back and do his meditation and other things. And so he had the road on which he was going, there was a house. And on the house, the first floor, the family is staying. And that person was then watching this fellow, Ekanath, going every day. And then he one day thought that let me do a little fun of this man. Let me really test whether he is a real saint or he is just pretending to be one. So as Eknath was returning after taking the bath, he put a lot of garbage on him because he was on the first floor and Eknath was walking down under his balcony, and so he took out the garbage and put on his head. So Eknath again went back to the river, took bath second time, and he is returning back, and again this fellow puts the garbage on his head. And without saying anything, Eknath goes back again, takes a bath, and comes third time. This fellow is putting the garbage. This happened 100 times. And 101 time, when he was returning, this fellow in the balcony, then he got really ashamed of himself. He said, yeah, this fellow is a real saint, and I must go and apologize to him for what wrong I have done. So he goes, touches his feet and says, I am very sorry. I gave you a lot of trouble. And Eknath says, no, my friend, you did me a good favor. Every day I take bath only once. And today, because of you, I was fortunate enough. It was a blessing for me that I could take bath 101 times. So don't ever feel bad about it. You did a good work for me. This is the power of resilience. A situation which otherwise could explode easily. If any one of us would have been in that situation, many of us for the very first time would have started quarreling with him. If not first, at least second time. And definitely by third time, most of us would be quarreling with the person. But if we sort of enhance our quality of resilience, many of such situations we can go without getting into the anger. So Kshama, forgiveness, is more about anger management. If you are able to control your anger, then definitely you are, reached to that level where you can forgive others. So let us go in more detail to understand what is the anger management so that we can understand the deep layers of Uttam Kshama or forgiveness. There is a name called Uttam Kshama, so supreme forgiveness. And there is a reason why this Uttam and supreme is attached to that. Because our quality of forgiveness could be 1% or 100%. So like we go and buy the gold ornament, so it could be 24 carat, it could be 22 carat, it could be 18 carat, it could be 14 carat, or it could be 1 carat. And so same way, the quality of forgiveness is going to be different. And so supreme means it is at the 100% level, 24 karat gold. And that's why their word is there, and it is very important, very significant. So we understand that we need to keep enhancing the quality of our forgiveness so that it gets to the supreme level, 100%, 24 karat. So coming back to this anger management part, which essentially is understanding the forgiveness. So next step is to lower our expectations. If our expectations are not taken care, then we get angry. We get angry because we expect something from the other person and he is not able to fulfill those desires. And we have expectations from everybody in our network. Your expectation from your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your wife, your children, your husband, your boss, your colleagues, your acquaintances, the person who met you casually somewhere in the club. So there is an expectation from everything, everybody. And if those expectations are not fulfilled, we get very angry. A father and son were walking. They were going to a market. And the father had kept a $100 note because they were to buy certain things. And the father is walking ahead. The son is a little behind him, 2-3 steps. But son is busy seeing some other things. And there is another man who is few steps behind. As they are walking, the father is trying to take out something from his pocket and a $100 bill falls down. The son is watching something else, so he doesn't notice it. And the man who is walking few steps behind, he sees that, he picks up the $100 bill and rushes to the man and says, "Hey guy, this is your $100 bill which fell down from your pocket." And the man says, "Oh, thank you so much, and God bless you," and all that. The man goes, and then the father calls his son and says, "Hey, you are behind me, and you didn't notice that $100 bill falling down?" The other man noticed, and what about you? Why you couldn't notice it? Where is your attention? I told you 1,000 times, be always attentive. You will never improve. And like that, he kept on scolding his son. What happened? He had expectation that his son be attentive, and instead of the stranger, he should have picked up the bill. But this happens to us with everybody. Wherever there is expectation and that is not fulfilled, we get angry. This another person, he went to his friend and said, "Hey, I need $5,000 urgently, and in 3 days' time I will return it to you. And I was expecting some deposit in my account, but it is got delayed by a day or so. And so please give me 5,000. And his friend refused, he didn't give. So he got so much angry with the friend. He says, yeah, you came to me and I gave you $10,000 without asking anything why you need, when you return, and whether you will return or not. And now I am just asking 5,000 only for 3 days, and you are not able to give me. You are not a good friend. A friend in need is a friend indeed. And even though I helped you when you wanted and you didn't help me, now when I am in need, an expectation got the anger. So one of the important thing is we must manage our expectation. And here is the simple way you can manage the expectation. A very simple way, but very, very effective. So what you do is, let's say you make a list of people from whom you expect certain things. It could be 500 people, let us say. Your network is bigger, so let's say 500 people. And against each person, you draw the percentage of expectation. Like from your wife, you will have 100% expectation or 90% expectation. And your sons, you will have between 90 and 100% expectation. And some, your other close friends could be 80 to 90%. And some others could be 30 to 40%. So you sort of draw that percentage. So now you have a list of the people and the percentages. So you draw 10 circles. In the middle you put yourself. And then each percentage. So first circle is 90 to 100%. Second circle is 80 to 90. Third circle is 70 to 80. Like that. And the last circle is 0 to 10. You put all the people into this various circles. And you will find that in first two circle, which is 90 to 100% and 80 to 90%, your close people will be there. And your casual acquaintances would be somewhere in the last few circles. Because you don't expect much from them. You met somebody casually, and so, you expect some 5% that you ask something and there is a 5% chance that he will do that for you. So having done this, you put everything on the circle. Now, every week or every 15 days or every month, you remove the people from the last circle. So everybody who is 0 to 10, you say, now you don't want to expect anything from them. So you move them out. They go out from your list. So in 6 to 7 months, let's say you do it every month. So you have eliminated people where your expectation was less than 70%. And by that, out of 500 guys, you will be left with only 50 people who are from 70 to 80, 80 to 90, and 90 to 100%. So a big chunk, 90% of the people from you had expectation, you are removed from the list. So your chance factor of getting angry is reduced by 90% because of the expectations. And same you should start doing, and get yourself into the first two circle of 80 to 90 and 90 to 100. So that is the first part. Then you improve further. So this is now, let us say, 1 year down line. So in 1 year's time, you removed 90% of the people from your expectation list, which is a great achievement. And 10% now, you have the same 10 circles, 0 to 10 and 91 to 100, and slowly start moving people from the first two circle to the outer circles. So let us say 91 to 100. So you move them to the, some of them you start moving to say 60 to 70 or 50 to 60. So don't expect everything from them. Start lowering your expectation from them. So in the first exercise, we got rid of 90% people from your list. And now whatever 10% are left, you slowly start moving them to the outer circle and outer circle and outer circle. And this way, your level of expectation from the people will be dramatically reduced. And it will dramatically reduce the chance of your getting angry. You must remember that if you get angry for 1 minute, yes, if you get angry for just 1 minute, the amount of poison created in your system, your body will take 24 to 30 hours for the body to neutralize that effect. So it is very, very important for us to manage our anger in a very, very good way. So lowering our expectations is one very, very important thing. The second one very, very practical things we can do is to delay our reaction. So you are getting angry, so you don't express your anger to the other person at that point in time. You say, hey guys, 24 hours from this time, in your own mind you say, I will respond to this. And this happened in the life of a saint called Gurdjieff. And when he was small, his father died. And when father was in the deathbed, he called Gurdjieff and he said, like all other fathers, I wasn't able to give you education. I'm dying when you are so young. And I feel sorry for that. But I just want you to give me one small promise. I know I couldn't educate you because now you are so small and I am dying. But give me one promise that you will hold on to your anger for 24 hours. When there is a situation of getting angry, you will not respond. You will not express your anger at that moment. You will wait for 24 hours, one full day. And then you can go and express your anger whichever way you want. And Gurdjieff wrote in his biography that this one simple thing helped him a lot in his life, because he found that after 24 hours, 95% of the situations are such that there is no need to react. 95% of the situations are such that there is no need to react at all. They can be easily, simply forgotten. It can be simply considered as that incident has not occurred. Because after 24 hours, I used to realize, oh, it is not worth even reacting. And the 5% where I thought I need to react, my reaction would be very, very mild compared to if I would have reacted immediately. So even those 5 which were worth reacting to, your response would be very, very mild. And so another good technique is to cultivate the habit of delaying your response. Delaying it considerably, 24 hours possibly, if you can. And this is really very, very true, because there was a study done for the people who were in the jail for killing somebody. And most of the people killed their closed one, killed wife or husband or a friend or a brother or a sister or some close associate. And when these people were asked, why did you kill? And what happened? And all of them responded that if someone would have stopped us just for 4 seconds, if someone would have stopped us just for 4 seconds, we would not have committed that crime. After 4 seconds, it would have been impossible for us to commit that murder, to kill someone. But that anger which took control over us only for 4 seconds, and we did the thing which we never thought we can do. Never in our dreams we thought of killing anybody. But those 4 seconds of intense anger made us do what we would not do at all. And so delaying a response to anger can really avoid the dangerous consequences of our action at the spur of the moment. So, delaying your response is another good option to take anger management into the next level. In a family, the son who was growing, he used to get angry very, very fast. For anything, he would get angry. And very angry, not just angry, very, very angry. And his father didn't know what to do. But then one day he found a method. One of his friends suggested. So what he did, in his garage, he put a big board, wooden board, say 4 feet by 4 feet. And he brought a lot of nails and a hammer. And he gave it to his son and he said, anytime you get angry, immediately go in the garage and put one nail into this wooden board. It will take you 2-3 minutes to put the nail and you will have to hammer, 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 hammer. So a lot of energy will be utilized. Because it is a big nail and the wood is hardwood, so it takes time for you to put the nail through the board. And so the son is following because he also wanted to find a situation where he can control his anger. Because he himself was also feeling that, hey, I really becoming a slave of this anger. So every time there is a situation to get angry, he will go and put one nail into the wood. And this continued for 6 months. And he finished all the nails. Then he went to the dad and he said, Dad, I finished all the nails, but I must tell you that now I have a better control on my anger. I can see when the anger is coming, and now I can sort of get control over it without having to put the nail in the wooden board. So dad was happy, the son was also happy. So dad said, now you do one more thing. Every time, now you don't need to put a nail, you are able to control on your own. So every time you are able to control the situation, you go and pull out one nail. And this continued for 6 months. And all the nails were out. And his father had done one thing. Before he started putting the nail, he had taken a photo of that board. And now when his son says, that all the nails have come out, he took another photo and then showed it to son. See, son, this is the board when we started. And now 1 year is over, more than a year is over, and this is the board. You first put the nails and then you remove one by one, but the board still has the holes. So, the moment you think you want to get angry, that is the time a karma a karma bonding takes place. As soon as the anger starts coming, and so even though you are able to control after some time, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 24 hours, the karma bondage has already taken place. So that hole which is left out now is your karma bondage. And then you will have to make efforts to remove that bondage. That is what we call as a nirjara. So you will have to go through the meditation process and purification process to remove those holes. So as we were talking about karma and karma bondage, so what happens is whenever you get angry, that is the moment the karma bondage takes place. Whether you have physically hurt somebody or not, whether you scolded somebody or not, it is immaterial. That is what we call as a dravya kriya. But your bhava kriya, your passion has come up and you had a desire to hurt somebody. So that is the time the karma bondage has taken place already. So the impurities inside us, which is responsible for all the negative things like anger, greed, ego and all other things, is already there by way of karma influx. And unless we go to the Unter-Atma, our inner, and purify them, those negativity would still remain there. And that's why Bhagwan Mahavir says, from Bahir-Atma you transcend to Unter-Atma, from outer to the inner, and then meditate upon Paramatma. That is your ultimate goal of becoming Aryant and Siddha, but that is how the purification process will take place, that from outer you go to the inner, because all the negativity is in the inner. The purification process has to be in the inner. And we must remember that the roots are in the inner, and whatever is happening in the outer is the manifestation of those negativity which is inside us. And that's why Bhagwan Mahavira says, all our enemies are within us. So, the process of purification, as we have seen now, the process of karma bondage, this is how it takes, and so you need to be sort of go into the process of purifying oneself and reduce the negativity inside. It is very important that whatever the negativity, anger is creating, which is inside you, and as we have seen, in 1 minute it creates so much poison that body takes 24 to 30 hours to detox it. But that is, body purification is one part, and as we have seen, the karma bondage or the other purification which we have to do. So we have to find the ways to remove the negative energy which is inside. which has been created. And one of the ways to dissipate is to go into the meditation, deeper meditation, and dissipate that energy into the cosmos. So if you get the skills of going into the deeper meditation and ability to release that negative energy in the cosmos, your inner system, not just the body, your mind and your emotions and other part is detox without hurting anybody else. Otherwise, you will go and hit somebody, or you will go and scold somebody, or you will have a great amount of enmity against somebody. Say if you are not able to do any harm to somebody who has either insulted you or who has done some other harm to you, you will carry the feeling of enmity in you all the time, all the time. And that negativity is hurting you every minute. It is like you are taking a knife and putting in your own body until that negativity is gone. So this is what is known as a Visalikaranena. So if you go into the Pratikraman, we say one of the objectives is Visalikaranena. So Visalikaranena is there is a deep rooted thing in your system like the enmity. So enmity is hurting you every minute. It may not hurt your enemy. Whether it hurts or not is to be seen. But definitely it is hurting you. And hurting you every minute. So that's why the Pratikraman says, Visalikaranena. Tasautarikaranena, Payachittakaranena, Visohikaranena, Visalikaranena, and then Thamikausakam. So this enmity which is remaining has to be dissolved. So you need to go do the Kayotsarga, get into the deeper meditation and work on Visalikaranena. A man was dying, is on the deathbed and is about to die any minute. He had 4 children, 4 sons, and he called all of them. A, yes, he is there. B, yes, he is there. C, yes, he is there. D, yes, he is there. So he said, you 4 are all here. And I just wanted a promise from all of you. See this ex-fellow? You know he is our enemy. He did some harm to us. But I couldn't take revenge on him. I wanted to. All my life I tried. But I couldn't take any revenge on him. But guys, I want all of you, 4 of you, to promise me that you will take revenge on him or his next generation. That is the only promise I want from you guys. Just promise me you will take revenge. What's happening in this situation, friends? All his life, this man is burning inside, creating a poison, hurting himself, hurting his positivity, hurting his peace of mind, his tranquility, his bliss, his festivity, because he wants to take revenge on somebody. And now, he is passing on that poison to all his 4 children. And he's asking a promise from them that all their life they will carry that poison, that negativity which will damage their life, which will take away the tranquility, peace of mind, the bliss, the festivity, the celebration out of their life. And this type of enmity is what is the root cause coming out of the anger, which you could not sort of repay to those people, take revenge. And this is what we need to go into the deeper meditation and transmit this negative energy to the cosmos. This is the beautiful thing and beautiful concept in Shainism, that all the negativity you can dissipate in the cosmos without hurting. And this is the process of Visalikaranena, which we are talking about. So, Pratikraman is not just that simple that you recite certain things and your Pratikraman is done. No, Pratikraman, that's why our Acharya has put right inside the Pratikraman as to what is to be done. And the enmity, Visalikaranena. And how you do? Thamika Sargam. You get into the Sarga, which is Manogupti, Vachan Gupti, Kaya Gupti. Transcendent your body, transcendent your thought processes, and transcendent your mind. And then you reach the inner. So from outer Bahir-Atma, now you have come to the Unter-Atma through Kaya Sarga, using three Gupti, Manogupti, Vachan Gupti, Kaya Gupti. Transcendating the body, transcendating the thought process, transcendating the mind. And this is how you can sort of get control over your anger and remove the deep, very deep feelings like the enmity. So this is a good way to do that. And then there are several situations where you can sort of handle the situation in a lighter way. You don't have to take it very seriously, that situation. So Buddha was about to get ready for his morning sermon. It is close to 8 o'clock and about 10,000 people are sitting and waiting for him to start the sermon. All powerful people sitting there, kings and warriors and rich people and educated people and also the ordinary people. And Buddha had taken his seat and is about to start the sermon. And one man comes running from the audience and starts scolding him. A lot of bad words. Very, very bad words. And all the people sitting there, kings, and they take out the sword and they just want to cut his head. How can someone go and insult Buddha like this? But Buddha waves them and says, just hold on. And then this man finished all his scolding. Buddha looked at him and said, do you have anything more to say? If not, I want to start the sermon. And this man went and he came next day. He couldn't sleep. And he's touching Buddha's feet and say, I am very sorry. Please forgive me. I really was very, very rude and I was out of my mind. And Buddha said, don't worry. The yesterday who came and scolded me is a different person than today. You are a different person. 24 hours have gone. And the Buddha you scolded yesterday is no more the same Buddha. In 24 hours, that Buddha also has changed. So the whole situation has changed in 24 hours. Why worry about what happened yesterday? The whole existence is transitory. It is changing every minute. It is changing every second. And we need to keep this in mind. And another important thing we need to keep in mind, which Buddha later explained to his disciple, is that this man came and scolded me. So he says, let us say somebody comes with a flower and tries to give it to me, and I didn't take the flower. So that flower remains with the person who is wanting to give it to me. So same way, this person scolded me. But it is up to me to accept it or not. And I decided not to accept it. So it remained with him. Guys, we normally think that if someone has scolded us, we need to accept it. We have no other option but to accept it. And another thing we think is that we need to respond to that. And really, this is the key. Whatever other person is doing, you don't have to accept it. If somebody is scolding you, you can just ignore. And you don't have to react to it. You can simply ignore. And because we think we need to always accept it and react it. So he's giving the bad words, sending bad words to us, and we accepting it and we reacting it, we consider that it is one action. No, split it into 3 actions. He has given the scolding, he has given the bad words. Now it is up to you to decide whether to accept it or not. And even though you accept, it is up to you to decide whether to react to it or not. So we need to split into 3 distinct activities. And so if somebody is scolding us and we say, I don't accept it, finish. There is no question of reacting to that at all. And this is the new level at which we have to go and, make it a little at a higher level of thinking. And many situations we can just make it a lighter. You don't have to take it very seriously. This one man was late to the office. It's a big office building, so he's rushing to go to his place. And the another man is going in the opposite direction. He is late for a meeting. And the conference room is somewhere. And he is rushing to his conference room in the opposite direction. And this man is rushing to his seat because he is late. And this man is late for the meeting. And they collide. They bang into each other. And one fellow gets very angry. And he says, you stupid, you can't see? Such a big person, 6 feet tall, well built, you can't see? You should be careful in walking. Why bump into somebody? And he was mad. The other fellow was a little cool type. He didn't take it angrily. He smiled. And he says, my friend, you came in this direction. I am coming in the opposite direction. I don't know whose mistake it is. Whether you banged into me or I banged into you. I don't know. But if I banged into you, I am so sorry. Please forgive me. It's my mistake. But if you banged into me, oh, just forget it. Don't even worry. Don't even mention. It's okay for me. Now the second man has made a fiery situation into a simple situation. If he would also get mad like the other person, there would be big quarrel. And a great fun for everybody else to watch. But he made the situation light. And this is what we can do many, many times. So if you are in a situation like that, there are several small things which are very, very practically helpful. Let us say there's an argument between you and your wife. You are at home. And it happens, husband-wife fighting is a common as part of the married life. But instead of arguing and getting into the heated argument, you can quietly walk away. The first step is you can keep quiet. But still better is keep quiet and walk away from the situation so you don't get into more arguments. And if that situation has really made you angry, now you have to dissipate the anger as fast as you can before it starts creating poison in your system. So close the door. And if you got angry with your partner, just use your fists for hold it very, very tight. Some anger will dissipate. But if you are still very angry, take a pillow and start beating it. The idea is to dissipate the energy, negative energy. But a better idea is sit down in the lotus posture, close the eyes, and do the kumbhak, that is hold your breath. Hold your breath when it is inside, that is Antar-kumbhak. Hold your breath when you are about to take the next breath, that is Bahir-kumbhak. So hold the breath and you will find in 3 to 4 minutes your anger is all dissolved. Just 3 to 4 minutes. It doesn't take longer. Just a quick meditation along with the deep breathing and holding the breath. Holding the breath is very, very important. So that the anger which is inner is not transmitted to the body and your nervous system and your gland systems. So this is how you can sort of handle situations in a much better and more sophisticated way. Now, if you are able to get into the deeper meditation, as we saw for Visallohi Karanena, you get into the Kayat Sarga, that is Manogupti, Vachangupti, Kayagupti, transcended your body, transcended your thought process, transcended your mind, and go into your inner. Now guys, if you are able to go into little deeper meditation, there are 4 levels: Vaikhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti and Para. So if you can come to the level of Pashyanti in the meditation part, we'll be talking about this in our other lecture in much detail, but here just I want to mention. So if you are able to go into the deeper meditation, then one beautiful thing can happen. And you can make that happen yourself. Is all the negative energy, instead of dissipating, you can convert it into the positive energy. For example, anger. the anger energy will get converted into love. The anger energy will get converted into friendship. The anger energy will get converted into the compassion. The anger energy will get converted into caring and sharing. And this is the most beautiful thing that can happen. The energy has come because energy is same. Energy is same. And now the energy has become negative because of the anger. So energy has been generated. So two things you are doing. Firstly, you are preventing it from harming you. The second thing, you could dissipate it into the cosmos. And third, a better thing is you convert that into the positive energy. So that your anger will get converted into love or friendship, compassion, caring, giving. And this is what we need to learn the technique. And once we learn that technique, I think we would have learned the Uttam Kshama. We would have managed our anger in a much, much better way. And this is what is really Uttam Kshama, is managing your anger to all these levels. So you don't want to hurt anybody, and even if they have hurt you, you want to say, okay, forgive me. I forgive you. I have nothing against. So forgiving somebody is the outer expression, but the inner purification is very, very important, where you make sure that this anger energy is not hurting you in any way, and you are able to convert that into the positive energy. So just to summarize, friends, what we have discussed so far is that it is not the other who is making you get angry. The anger, negativity is inside you. All our enemies are inside us. And to prevent getting anger, you need to purify yourself, going from outer to the inner, from Bahir-Atma to Unter-Atma, using the Kayat Sarga, the Trigupti, and then get into the purification. And as you purify yourself, your impurities, your karma bondage and other things will start reducing their intensity. And so with this, I think we conclude today's thoughts on Uttam Kshama, supreme forgiveness. Om.
jainworld.com 25 years of service to Jainism.